Most likely Transformers 7. What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex here, and you're watching The Road to TF5. This is just Webster's. We're talking about Transformers last night. This is episode number 118, and the very first thing that I want to do is say happy birthday to Michael Bay. There is an hour left before it reaches midnight, so it's still February 17th, so happy birthday to Michael Bay. This episode will be all about Michael Bay and his return to the Transformers live-action universe. He said again and again and again that he will not return to direct a Transformers sequel or another Transformers sequel, but he seems to come back every single time. So the big question is, will he be returning to direct another Transformers live-action film after Transformers Last Night? That is the big question, and we're going to find out, or at least I'm going to tell you in this episode. So, when Super Bowl happened, of course, there was the Super Bowl TV spot for Transformers The Last Night. And then upon the release of the Super Bowl TV spot for Transformers Last Night, Michael Bay made a statement on his Facebook page, and I'm going to read it for you right now. I've been living in this franchise for over 10 years now. For Transformers Last Night, we put together a writer's room designed to greatly expand our mythology, integrating our films in a whole new way. Every movie will interlink. It was a huge task to expand mythology from the beginning of the world throughout history. We had a great team of writers: Akiva Goldsman, Art Markham, Matt Holloway, Ken Nolan, Zach Penn, Lindsay Baird, Geneva Robertson Dworet, Christina Hodson, Stephen DeKnight, Jeff Pinkner, and Andrew Bauer and Gabriel Ferrari. Through the summer of 2015, they worked in a huge space on the Paramount lot surrounded by over 10,000 concept images from the franchise's history, the movies, the cartoons, and comic books. They had a life-size Bumblebee, a Megatron head, and many other props staring at them down. We pulled from everything. It was a fan's dream room. We brought in Transformers historians from Hasbro to educate them on where Transformers has been so they could figure out where it can go. I can safely say that there's never been a Transformers film with a huge visual scope and expansive mythology as this movie, The Last Night. It's bittersweet for me. With every Transformers film, I've said it would be my last. I see the 120 million fans around the world who see these movies, the huge theme park lines, to the rides, and the amazing Make-A-Wish kids who visit my sets. And it somehow keeps drawing me back. I love doing these movies. This film was especially fun to shoot, but this time might really be it. So I'm blowing this one out. It's final chapter and a new beginning. Here's the writer's logline. The hunted will become heroes. Heroes will become villains. Only one world will survive. Theirs or ours. So of course there was a lot of promotion for Transformers Last Night, but the big message here was that he says that it will be his last, and he's going out with a bang. Transformers Last Night will be the most ambitious and has been the most fun Transformers film he has ever made, and he claims that he's leaving it for good. So what I'm about to talk about here is whether or not he actually means it. Because with every single Transformers sequel, I've always said that Michael Bay is not coming back. I've always said that because I believed every word that he said about not coming back. And guess what happens? He ends up coming back. So with him saying that this is his last one, I'm actually going to not believe it. And I'll tell you why. But to find out why, we first have to go back in time to 2005 when The Island, I think The Island came out in 2005, and there was an audio commentary with Michael Bay, and he mentioned that he will be working on a Transformers film. But he actually didn't know a whole lot about what Transformers really is or really was. And what it is now, he just didn't know. He wasn't a fan of it, he never watched the cartoons, never played with toys. And essentially, this was something that Steven Spielberg convinced him to do. Fast forward to 2007, where Transformers, the very first live-action film in the franchise, makes $700 million worldwide. So, what happens next? Well, the Blu-ray high definition wars took place in 2007 and actually 2006, where Toshiba's HD DVD was going up against Sony's Blu-ray. And Paramount became an HD DVD exclusive. Can you believe that? This means that if you were waiting for Transformers or Shrek on Blu-ray disc, you're out of luck. However, Spielberg movies will still be multi-format though, because they're special. So, Michael Bay, being the tech expert or tech enthusiast that he is, he freaked out. And this was his response to that. Director Michael Bay says to Paramount, no Blu-ray, so no Transformers sequel. Here's his exact words. I want people to see my movies in the best formats possible. For them to deny people who have Blu-ray sucks. They were progressive by having two formats. No Transformers 2 for me. Bay wrote in a forum posting on his Shoot for the Edit website. The response highlights the frustration that both directors and consumers are experiencing with competing high-definition formats. So this was his response to Paramount opting to be exclusive to only HD DVD. So this was his first, negative reaction in terms of not wanting to direct a Transformers sequel. So I believed him. I believed what he said. However, there were reports stating that Transformers 2 would still be in production. So I went on the Shoot for the Edit forums, that would be Michael Bay's forums, and I actually posted on there, and the thread title was DreamWorks denies they're ready for Transformers 2. And I just copied and pasted a statement from another forum, okay? And guess what? Michael Bay responded. Michael Bay saw that headline that I posted, and he responded to it, and he says, oh, really? Is that why 20 people in production are in my office right now? Another 20 art designers, another location, scouts in 2 countries, one back east. Don't ever bet against me in making my date. June 2009, Michael. So that's something that just came out of left field. We thought he wasn't coming back, but he actually came back. And not only that, he came back with a vengeance against my post. What an honor. My interaction with Michael Bay. I will always remember that. Anyways, so Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, huge hit. $800 million worldwide. What happens next? Is Transformers 3 happening with Michael Bay? Well, he wanted to take a break, but Paramount wants to move forward. And here's his response when there was a big announcement saying that Transformers Dark of the Moon, or rather Transformers 3, was coming summer of 2011 with Michael Bay attached. Here's his response. I said I was taking a year off from Transformers. Paramount made a mistake in dating Transformers 3. They asked me on the phone. I said yes to the July 1st, but for 2012. Whoops. Not 2011. That would mean I would have to start prep in September. No way. My brain needs a break from fighting robots. So such a high energy response tells us that even though the last 2 films were big successes, it doesn't really mean a whole lot to him. He wants a break from robots. The films still haven't convinced him that it's something that he loves. But anyways, money talks, and they gave him bags and bags and bags of money, so he decided that he was gonna make that date. And then fast forward to 2011, Transformers Dark of the Moon makes $1.1 billion worldwide. Huge success. So guess what happens next? In an article dated 2014, turns out that Paramount decides having Michael Bay stick around is a good idea. And this is pretty crazy. This is, of course, released after Transformers Age of Extinction. He agreed to make Transformers Age of Extinction. He never really talked about how he wasn't going to do Transformers 4, but he ended up doing Transformers 4 because Paramount let him do Pain and Gain. And there is an official statement about that from Paramount, okay? This was from Paramount Pictures website. Director Michael Bay signs 2-picture deal with Paramount. This is an article dated 2012. First up for the prolific filmmakers, Pain and Gain starring Mark Wahlberg and Dwayne "Rock" Johnson, followed by a new installment in the hugely popular Transformers franchise to be released on June 29, 2014. So basically, here's what happened. They let him do his passion project, which he's always wanted to do for a very, very long time. And if he did that, they would let him do. If Michael Bay directs Transformers 4 for them, then they will let Michael Bay direct Pain and Gain, something that he's always wanted to do. So it was a bit of a trade-off. Michael Bay will direct Transformers 4. Paramount lets him direct his passion project, Pain and Gain. So here's the official statement from Adam Goodman. Michael Bay has been working on Pain and Gain for a number of years, but has patiently waited for the perfect casting to trigger a start. Clearly, his patience has paid off, as we couldn't be more excited about this combo. His passion for this project is just awesome. So there you have it. That's the only way they could have got him to make another Transformers film, Transformers Age of Extinction, by letting him do a small little film called Pain and Gain, which ended up being a success. I really enjoyed Pain and Gain. I questioned the source material or the content, but still, it was an enjoyable film for what it was. All right, so now here's his response. Michael Bay's responded to the whole 2-picture deal. Over the years, I have become part of the Paramount family. There is synergy there that feels different than any other place in Hollywood. From Brad Gray and Rob Moore, where my relationship goes back more than a decade to my very good friend Adam Goodman, and to Philip Dowman, who has put so much trust in me, and with the powerful marketing of Josh Greenstein and Megan Colligan, Paramount makes for a very comfortable place to work. So there you go. 2-picture deal. Very, very happy. Get to direct his passion project. And then after that, Transformers 4, which ends up, of course, being a huge success. Another $1.1 billion for Paramount Pictures at the box office. Now, here's what follows after that. Here's what follows during the production of Transformers Age of Extinction. Mark is really excited about it, and it's a great redesign. I said that 3, which grossed $1.1 billion, was going to be my last one. Paramount was letting me do Pain and Gain, and the Transformers ride was opening at Universal, and it was bittersweet to think of passing it off. I wanted to set it up on a really sure footing and to bring someone else in on that. It would have been overwhelming. So his original plan was to actually end it off as a trilogy, end it in a way where if a new director were to take on the helm, then they would be ready to set it up however they want to. But turns out that didn't happen. They brought Michael Bay back on after the 2-picture deal, the contract, and now he's back. So what happens after that? So there was this interview he did with, I think it was like Deadline or Forbes magazine or Wall Street Journal or USA Today. But anyways, the question was, I know when you did Transformers 3, you were kind of done. And his response was, yeah. And this is literally a true story. I went to the Transformers ride in Universal, and there's a 2.5-hour line. And you just see all these kids. It's the most popular ride they've had since Jurassic Park. And I'm like, it's hard to let go of your franchise. You don't want someone to mess it up. So I at least wanted to set it up on some good footing, because you're going to get a different director who is not going to want to follow in my footsteps. Directors feel very territorial, so they're going to go to a more inexperienced director. It's just the way Hollywood works. And I'm thinking, God, So I'll redesign it, set it up. Someone's gonna mess this up. This is way too big of a thing. And I'm looking at all these kids, and I'm like, damn, I gotta do one more. And then I brought Mark Wahlberg into it. So now we've got a movie star. We've got full redesigns. At least it'll be on good footing. So he got really excited about it. Mark Wahlberg's on board. He's excited to work with him again since Pain and Gain. So he really didn't want another director to mess it up. So he just wanted to keep on going with the franchise because of that. All right. So now Transformers Age of Extinction is out, or rather came out, made $1.1 billion. It's over, right? It's over. Here's his response. There's kind of a new chapter, a new direction in movies I want to make, says Bay, who is eyeing a passion project, a documentary on elephant poaching. I have a lot of stories to tell, and it's about flexing new muscles. So this was actually taken from an article with a headline that says Michael Bay says no to Transformers 5. So he said no. He's done. He doesn't want to do it anymore. He ended Age of Extinction in a way where a director can take it on and just set it up for him. But we know how that goes. Now, he obviously has finished making the movie. He's marketing it right now. They're going into post-production. Now, here's his commentary on why he's back on set and why he decided to return to Transformers the last night. The writer's room was big. It was an inspiration. I think I was ready to go shoot or something in about 13 hours, and I had to sit for 6 to 7 hours. I had 12 writers pitch me their 45-minute stories, and I'm sitting there, I'm concentrating. Not that I'm getting bored, but my mind is also going in a million miles per hour. I'm completely spacing out because I'm trying to think, where's the movie? What's the movie? And they went from the beginning of time to whatever. Some really smart people came up with some great ideas. Spielberg and I latched onto a couple of ideas that are great for spin-offs. There's a great historical thing. As I told Paramount, we were doing one movie, then the next movie, then the next movie. And it's hard. We need a Bible where we can start really taking what we've done. Now they write it all down. We've done, and they try to meld it. How do you cement into something new so that you've got all this? So his mind is just going crazy, but there are a lot of great ideas coming about. In addition, Bay suggested that he's also been inspired by the challenge of finding a way to shoot things he's never thought previously possible, teasing that The Last Night will be the most different entry in the series so far. Here's his comment. The palette on this one is the most different I've ever done. It will be the most different. The third act is spectacular looking. It's stuff that I've never done that excites me. It's stuff that's really complicated, I say. I have no freaking idea how we're going to shoot this. It's fun. That's the fun of it. How do you keep it human? We've really grounded it with Anthony Hopkins' character. I've always wanted to work with that guy. So what he's trying to say is that they're doing a lot of new things. They're doing a lot of fun things. And he gets the opportunity to work with an actor who he's always wanted to work with. There's a lot of things going for him as to why he should come back. So that's always a great thing. Now, during the filming of Transformers last night, there was a lot of interviews and a lot of people asking, is he going to return for another one? Is he going to return for Transformers 6? Here's his response. Never ask someone that when they're dog tired. I've lost 8 pounds running around. I like doing a small one and then a big one. It's fun doing a big one, but I like the small ones too. I liked 13 hours and Pain and Gain as well. They're fun. So he just said that he enjoys the big ones and the small ones. He directed Dark of the Moon and then Pain and Gain, and then Age of Extinction and then 13 Hours. And then The Last Night, most likely he's going to direct a small one and then he's going to want to come back to a big one. And what big one would that be? Transformers 6. That's what I'm thinking. But anyways, let me read you this last comment that solidifies whether or not he will come back. Do you think this will change what people expect from a Michael Bay movie? I don't care about that at all. I did it to have fun. I don't care what other people think of me. This is something I wanted to do. And I think that's your answer right there. Is Michael Bay coming back for Transformers 6? Maybe, possibly. I'm going to say yes, he's coming back. If he doesn't come back for Transformers 6, he will come back for Transformers 7. I'm saying that because of the way things have worked out. He's always said no, but something has always brought him back. Even when he said a definitive no after Transformers Dark of the Moon, he signed a contract deal for 2 pictures with Paramount where he got to do a small movie and then a big movie. That would be Transformers. And then 13 Hours and then Transformers Last Night. Now he's going to make a small movie. Perhaps it's that elephant poaching documentary that's his passion project that he's always wanted to do. The thing is that he can't come back to direct the Bumblebee spin-off film because that's happening, or that's going to be released next summer, and they don't even have a director attached. They can't grab Michael Bay because he would have to be working on pre-production right now. But he's working on post-production right now. So he will not be directing the Bumblebee spin-off film. As a matter of fact, they are looking for directors right now. None have come forward, none have been found yet. If they were looking for Michael Bay, they would have asked him already. So that ain't happening. Now, as for Transformers 6, which is released on, I think, June 23rd or 28th of 2019, that's 2 years from the release of Transformers Last Night. By doing that, by having Michael Bay direct the Transformers 6, which is released in summer of 2019, that means that he doesn't get to rest. He doesn't get to take a break from giant freaking robots. He just goes immediately into production, or rather pre-production, right away. That is not acceptable for Michael Bay. He wants to work on a small one, then a big one. Small one, then a big one. The next film he's going to make is a small one. And then after that, he's going to want to come back to a big one. All right? I'm pretty positive about that. And to top things off, he's going to be serving as a producer or an executive producer. And he's still very much attached creatively to the Transformers cinematic universe. He will be attached. Make no mistake about it. He will be providing his creative input on it. Whether you like it or not, that's a completely different story. $1 billion plus says so otherwise. So he's going to be involved in it no matter what. Now, as for Transformers 6 and 7, I think he's going to be directing most likely Transformers 7. Just because Transformers 6 is too soon. It's just too soon. Like I said before, after the release of Transformers Last Night, he's going to have to get right into early stages of development or pre-production for Transformers 6, and that is too soon. So I'm just going to go with it. Michael Bay is directing Transformers 7. That's what I truly believe. He's going to want to come back. He's going to see what happened in the Bumblebee movie. He's going to see what happened in Transformers 6. And then he's going to decide, you know what? I'm coming back. I miss these guys. I miss Peter Cullen. I miss working with the Camaro. I miss the truck. I miss all these explosions and stuff like that. He's going to want to come back. So I'm telling you guys right now, I think, and I'm pretty positive Michael Bay will be directing Transformers 7. Anyways, that's all I gotta say in this episode. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comment section below. And the last thing I want to do is give you guys Twitter shoutouts for my new followers, random followers, of course. Christian Rojas, Enrico Contran, Thomas Wenner, Oso Lawsu, Alterna Comics, William Rumsey HD, and Marty Afterwicks. Thanks for following me on Twitter. If you guys want a shout out, I will give them randomly to new Twitter followers. So that's all you got to do. And so thank you so much for following me. I appreciate all your support. Keep on watching. We got more episodes coming up, and I really appreciate all your support. As always, if you enjoyed this episode and you want to see more, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, Ragin Nation. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Is actually the toys. This weekend is New York Toy Fair, and that is really exciting because that is when they officially